the women's 800 metres freestyle coming up, and Ariane up against Lani Pallister. They're both in top form, and the longer the races get, the more comfortable Lani Pallister looks, so maybe not all that much between them here.
Take your marks.
A race that has been the domain of the great Katie Ledecky for such a long period of time. Ariane, the silver medal winner at the Tokyo Games. Behind Ledecky, she won bronze in Fukuoka 2023, and as I mentioned, Lani is the world short course champ, so we have some wonderful pedigree as we get up towards these longer distances with Ariane and Lani in the middle lanes, and she started quickly.
Ariane wants her Commonwealth record break, which is 8:11, taken off her by Summer McIntosh. That's the first target that we'll look at tonight. There's another time which is 8:04.79, which is Kate Ledecky. We can hope. We can hope.
Well, Arnie's under.
She's under.
It's the first 50, so we won't get too excited, but she's under Katie Ledecky's world record pace.
She's not mucking around.
So once again, I think this is my favourite feature of Ariane, is that it doesn't matter what event it is, it doesn't matter that she's already qualified, it doesn't matter that she's already had a sensational meet. Every time she gets in the water, it is trying to execute the perfect race plan so that she only knows how to swim one way.
But it's also the perfect race plan for Ariane Titmus. It's not for anyone else. It's only for the way that she needs to swim these races and the way that she's prepared for them as well. 0.88 under world record pace. Still under it at the 150-metre mark. I think her hands at the end of the stroke, fingers are apart ever so slightly. There can be a slight slip in the stroke when other swimmers are doing that.
Just looks so comfortable at this speed. Also looking at Lani Pallister, Lani is used to Arnie taking things out very strong. Lani needs to swim her own race, but she needs to keep an eye on Arnie because that is going to drag her to a great time. The difference in between these two is that for Lani, this has been a very emotional meet. She missed Tokyo 3 years ago, was absolutely gutted, has had issues with an eating disorder, health, heart condition, really questioned if she wanted to do this any longer. And 3 years later, she's now on the team for the 400 free, the 4x2, and really wanting another individual swim in this 800. So she's spent a lot of emotional energy at this meet already, Lani, but she also knows she's in form. So that can also lift you to a wonderful swim. And knowing that Arnie is under world record pace here, as I said, is going to push Lani to a great time.
I think that turning point was the World Short Course Championships at Melbourne for Lani Pallister, where she was able to walk away with multiple gold medals, you know, increase her confidence in what we all saw in her as a swimmer, and is able to get back in amongst the mix against someone like Ariane Titmus, who is still just 0.63 outside of the world record.
Trying to think, when Katie set this world record, when Katie Ledecky set this world record, it was back in 2016. 8:04.79. So this world record has stood for a long time. Katie Ledecky owns the top 10 performances of all time.
At least.
At least. That's only on the first page, at least. So Arnie is doing something incredibly special so far at the 350-metre mark. She's just backed off ever so slightly, just outside world record pace now.
You mentioned the triumph against adversity and perseverance from some of our swimmers this week, and Lani a case in point. Abby Connor's the same, and Roz touched on that, as did Ellie post-race just before. Abby gave the sport away, and then a call from Bronte Campbell came, encouraged her to keep on keeping on, and she finds herself heading towards Paris, as is Lani Pallister. So they're two of the wonderful stories to come out of the week. We're halfway through, and Ariane's half a second outside the world record. She is in rare form.
And I reckon Lani's just made her move.
Lani's in great shape for her performance based off Ariane's race here. Katie Ledecky negative split this when she broke the world record for the 8:04 time. Keep that in mind. But both swimmers are looking at going into their personal best territory.
So perhaps Ariane has just eased off the accelerator to a degree. She's dropped 1.5 seconds behind the world record, but they're comfortably ahead of the rest of the field. And Lani is swimming a very smart race. She let Ariane go out hard. She kept her within striking distance, and there she is, about a body length and a half behind Ariane as they turn after 500 metres.
A negative split, meaning the second part of the race is faster than the first part of the race. You expect those kind of performances from the distance swimmers. We've seen the sprint side to what Ariane Titmus has been doing at this competition. We spoke about how it is a stretch to be able to cover the shorter distances and the longer distances and prepare for both. Ariane has been able to get the mix right. But Lani Pallister has been consistent. She's the same distance as what she was behind 200 metres ago.
So we might park the world record for now, but Arnie is still on track for a PB here, which is an Australian record of 8:13.59. You mentioned earlier, Ian Thorpe, that the Commonwealth record of 8:11.39, only broken by Summer McIntosh in February this year. So you said that Arnie wants it back. We know what happens when she's not happy when one of her records gets broken.
It's great, isn't it? I mean, I enjoy it when Arnie's not happy or when she wants something really bad. It's terrible to put on Arnie, but at the moment, you'll be looking at a time for the last 200 metres, 2:03. That's to be able to set the mark for the Commonwealth record in this race.
They say records are made to be broken. Ariane does not agree with that one bit.
Not if they're hers.
True. Katie Ledecky owns the top 29 times in the 800 freestyle, by the way.
The top 29 fastest times in history, yes, all belong to the one person.
That's dominance. This is a champion at the peak of her powers. Ariane Titmus, 2 body lengths ahead of Lani Pallister, who's swimming a super race in her own right. She might have something to give here, Lani. Whether she can bridge this gap is a highly doubtful. But there's the bell, and the crowd lifts for Ariane Titmus, who leads this 800 freestyle time final by a comfortable margin. It's been another brilliant exhibition.
This Australian record, Arnie's PB, is still in contention. Keep your eye on the clock, 8:13.59. She lifted with that bell. There's a little bit of, okay, we've got 100 to go. 2 laps to go.
Well, she's put a body length back on this lead against Lani Pallister. She's really kicked in that 50.
It's going to be a great swim from Lani as well. She's got a PB of 8:15.11, Lani.
So keep an eye on that Commonwealth record, 8:11.39, and the Australian record, 8:13.59. The Commonwealth record isn't there, but Ariane has won, and won decisively. 200, 400, 800. She's the ultimate winner.
And Lani Pallister able to qualify here in the 800 metres freestyle as well.
Well done to Jamie Perkins, finishing with an 8:30.18, so just outside her PB. But this is wonderful news. You can tell that the girls have a little bit of fatigue, residual fatigue from the week, which is completely fair enough. Lani thrilled with that. Lani's still got a 1500 to come this week.